today coming to you on behalf of Method and Wowhead. In this video, I will be talking about the raid release gap between EU and NA, what the issues with it is, explaining upsides and downsides, and give you my conclusion on the entire situation. So, what is this gap that we are talking about? Basically, in the world first race, it's about who kills the final boss in the raid first, not who kills it the fastest. Now, just with any sports, imagine 100 meter sprint. It'd be quite unfair if someone was allowed to start 5 seconds before anyone else.
True.
Same kind of goes for this situation. NA gets to start about 16 to 18 hours before EU.
True.
This means that EU instantly starts behind and has to start doing catch up. Now, this has both big downsides and a couple of upsides, but in the end, it always results in a big downside.
True.
The biggest downside being quite obvious. NA gets ahead.
There is one minor exception, which is assuming some early boss is completely and utterly fucking horribly bugged, and then it's fixed just as EU comes up and becomes trivial. No. Fetid wasn't like that. The Fetid wasn't like that really. Like it was that kind of equalized it. But he says that in the, yeah, I can believe that.
Head start. That means that they are likely to see the final boss before us, and they can start progress on it. This becomes quite an issue on reset days in particular. Battle of the Zara lore is a very good example. Limit was basically ahead of us the entire run, but due to some tactic decisions, we managed to catch up. And because of the comp we managed to clear it in week 1. If the boss was slightly harder tuned, it would have been very, very difficult to win, as we would have basically needed to wait for the next reset. The extra gear would then have made the boss quite a lot easier, and all of a sudden, Limit would have about 16 to 18 hours to kill it before we are actually able to start clearing the raid and start killing the boss again. The exact same thing happened in Uldir, where the only reason that we really won is because Limit made a mistake with extending the boss instead of re-clearing the entire raid for gear and then killing the boss. No offense intended.
That was the closest they will ever get to world first. And I want them to understand that their decision to extend was the only chance they'll ever get. Whoever made that decision, I hope you understand you lost the only world first for your guild you would have ever gotten. Whoever that was.
Previous tiers like Nighthold, Tomb of the Garrus, we saw us kill
the
second to last boss around the end of the week. For example, Alessandro Nighthold died on Tuesday, Avatar died on Tuesday. After this, you would quickly rush to the final boss, get some information, and then try and kinda guess the comp you want to run and gear according to that the next weeks. The last 3 tiers, you would get to the final boss in almost day 1. On Taurus the Burning Throne, Method killed world's first Agamar within 20 hours of the EU release. Uldir was
Dude, that was a fucking sick day, by the way. Can I talk about that? Like, we just raided 20 hours straight, and we killed fucking Agamar day 1. That was amazing. Like, that was such a fucking good day. I love that day.
A little bit harder because of how hard tuned Fetid was, but as soon as Fetid got down, we saw Guhoon extremely quick. Battle of the Zara lore, we saw Stormball in day 1, and Jaina progress started day 2. Because of the short tiers, basically being reset tiers, meaning the boss is killable week 1, and extremely killable week 2, it means that NA time advantage becomes extremely relevant. Now, what are the upsides for EU with this entire gap? Because NA does have a couple of guilds that does stream, we are able to see most of the earlier bosses before even touching them. Examples of this in previous tiers. On Tauros, we saw Iminar, the bridge boss, being 6 healed, and we decided that this was also a very good idea. In Uldir, we saw the wall that was fetid, and we were aware that the boss had tuning problems. Basically, we would just test the waters a little bit on the boss and then start gearing with Mythic Plus. Battle of the Zara lore, we saw the nuke tactic for Jade Fire, basically where you kill the monk in the fight extremely quickly, and then that will remove a lot of abilities, making the fight a lot easier. And we saw the wall tactic of Raskatan. Now, this might sound really, really big, but it really isn't that big, as generally the earlier bosses that we are seeing from NA,
the stuff there takes mid-tier bosses from maybe 2 or 3 wipes down to like 1 or 2. It depends. It probably, like, total each tier we probably save between 5 and 10 pulls to copying NA tactics. I think that's reasonable. 5 to 10 pulls total to copying NA tactics generally for the earlier bosses. Total.
Are quite easy bosses.
Across all of them.
So for example, on Raskatan, we already had a quite similar tactic ready. This tactic was just a little bit more fine-tuned.
Yeah.
Jade Fire was
we were going to do a blocking in thing, but in a different place.
Maybe the one shot that we had, maybe maybe we would have had one
Scrape called it building a prison.
wipe, you know. But even that one wipe is unlikely just because of how easy the boss was for us. Now, what is my view on the entire situation? It's obviously not very positive. We were basically put behind from the start. The advantage of seeing the bosses and maybe not encountering some of the boss bugs that is there generally do not add up to the 18-hour head start. We always will prepare our own tactics for all bosses with care, and it's doubtful that the bugs that NA gets will cost them longer than 18 hours. In some ways, I'm happy that NA encounters some of the boss bugs, because it makes it a little bit more fair for us.
And it, to some extent, playing a bugged boss is very demoralizing, right? If you're in there day one and you feel like you're just burning time to a boss that is unkillable or a boss that is severely bugged, even if the absolute time loss is relatively low, it can still be very demoralizing and throw you off. And mental is like a big thing. Like, mental state's a big thing.
It has claimed with proof that in Battle of the Zara lore, on Mythic Stormball, the siege walls were bugged, and we're ticking, I think, 2 times for the damage, but still that did not add up to 18 hours of the head start they get. What would be the perfect situation, you might say? It would most likely be, just like how the expansion gets released, a global release. We would, of course, bring 1 or 2 small issues. Number 1 being the sleep schedules. As it's a global release, it means that some people start in the evening, others in the morning or afternoon.
Fuck it, dude. All of Method wakes up at like 4 p.m. anyway. Like, Blizzard could literally release raids at like 4 p.m. for us, 8 a.m. for US, and no one in the guild would have to change their sleep schedule. We have to change it to wake up at 8 a.m. If I log on TeamSpeak right now, I guarantee you I'll hear half the fucking guild complaining that tomorrow they have to get up at 8 a.m. But I want to lie in! Like, holy fuck. I got 2 hours of sleep last night, dude. That's every single tier. It's like that.
Afternoon, etc. However, I feel like personally, this will not have too big of an impact, as sleep schedules are quite easy to adjust, given the heads up.
Yeah, put the
second issue would be streaming, where Method obviously streams and Limit does not. Basically, Limit pulls ahead, all that Method gets to know is that the boss is killable, we just have to focus and play good. If Method pulls ahead, Limit knows that the boss is killable, see our kill, possibly take a bit of our tactic, and they get to see the next boss instantly as well, basically meaning that they can see maybe some of the small mythic changes that happen to the fight and how they directly impacts the fight and make choices already before even doing the boss. I'll have to say though, I will never complain about the streaming advantage, as this is simply a choice that both guilds make, and I fully respect Limit's choice to not stream the race and just try and get world first. I would also like to make clear that this is in no way a rant towards Limit Guild. I respect
the thing is as well, like, Limit, US people can't control to get the raid earlier, by the way. Like, that's immediately obvious to anyone with a brain, but, you know, I'm sure if everyone was given the choice, we would all rather have it at the same time, but, you know, they can't control that they get it earlier. It's not their fault, right?
I respect them all, and I'm very good friends with almost every single one of them as well.
I wish I was.
Overall, I would like to see the race be a little bit more fair. What you might think is, why is this an issue now? The world first race has been going on for years. Well, not to really be bad-mannered or anything, but it's just never really been an issue.
Myself personally, have the same amount of world firsts as the entire US region in history of World of Warcraft. All of America across all of World of Warcraft's history has the same number of end boss world firsts as myself. So it's not really been a big deal.
Warlords of Draenor, the race was mainly between Method and Paragon, which are both EU. In Legion, it was mainly between Method and Exorcist and Serenity. All 3 of these are also EU.
Good times, dude.
And in BFA, it's mostly been between Method and Limit, making the time issue actually a bit more worth of a talking point. Basically meaning, my dream would be a global release. Will it ever happen? Maybe, maybe not. At the end of the day, it's in Blizzard's hands, but we have seen from expansion releases that it is possible, so hopefully they can look at it and maybe consider it. What do you guys think on the topic? Do you think I've missed any points? Do you disagree with any of my points? Let me know in the comments below. I'll be scooping through them during the days.
Agree completely with everything there. That was a good video, actually. So yeah, I saw a few comments in chat there. You know, like, Method is rigged, blah blah. It's really boring when you win all the time. I agree. Like, please don't get me wrong here. Like, that's why I was excited for pieces to, you know, for pieces to say that we're going hard. Like it? Okay, dude, I'm gonna like it. There you go. Okay, I guess I'll subscribe as well. Fuck it, dude. Yeah, I'm okay. Hit the bell icon. You can fuck off with the bell icon. No, you can fuck off with that bell. What are you doing here? Dude, I don't want fucking notifications, man. What are you talking about? But no, yeah, I'm all with you guys. I think it would be much more interesting. Hello, neighbor. Hey, dude. Much more interesting if there was, like, you know, even more guilds, like, blasting and stuff. And hopefully the game will experience a revival, but I doubt it.